Here in this video, I'd like to describe how MQTT and HTTP are working together. So I'll start off by saying that they are both initialized with this socket CV. So this socket CV will take a socket which could be an HTTP or an MQTT socket, and we'll call the appropriate handler depending on which one. And then if I scroll, now in main, there's something here called register socket callback, which will register the socket CB and the resolve CB. The resolve CB is similar. It just has the addresses of the MQTT server and the HTTP server. And so there's only one socket CB and one resolve CB, which is different than the original code. And then it starts connects to the Wi-Fi and initializes the Wi-Fi and starts MQTT. So the download of data is much different than before too, so I'll show you that. There's something here called download a file, which just takes a file, which could be a URL, any URL, and then if the state is canceled, it closes it, then it starts the download, which is a function that was written earlier. And it keeps on checking the Wi-Fi handle, which is done over and over to see when the file is completed, and when it's done, it clears some of the states and closes. Here's something new. It closes the connection, so it closes the HTTP connection. All right, and if it is canceled, it'll clear the cancel state. Now, to download more than one file, there's this routine here, and there's a bunch more states here. There's a state called second file. So if it's the first file, it'll download the text file. This is just a URL of the text file. And once it's completed, it'll add the states to download the second file and clear completed. And then when this is called with the second file, it'll download the binary file, and when it's completed, it'll clear some flags and add the flags download completed. In main, if there's a request to download, it'll clear the state download request, and it'll download the files. That'll download the two files, and that sets a flag which would be download completed. So then it'll come here, and once it's completed, this MQTT will publish a message that the download is finished. So initially, I'll go to MQTT. There's a button here which is download, and when this is clicked, this will send a callback here. That callback is the subscribe handler, and that will turn the LED on and just add a state here, download request, and that will trigger in main to have the download begin. When that download is finished, when that download is finished right here, that will set a state here called download completed. Then this gets cleared, and this sends a command to MQTT called download finished, and that will send that toggle. It'll toggle that switch back. So, and it'll also, and then once that has been received, the LED will shut off. So let's see if I can show you that in action. Okay, so here we have temperature and light data working. I can demonstrate that. Temperature and light is working, so let's see. So here, you can see I have this flashlight, so if you if I flash it on there, then the luminosity goes way up, and now I'll shut it off or I'll remove it. That goes way down. Put it back, the luminosity goes way up. I think that's a bug there, okay? And now the temperature, you can see the temperature going. If I touch the sensor, temperature goes up. Remove it, temperature comes back down. Let's try to touch the sensor, temperature goes up. Remove my hand, temperature comes down. 42. There's some offset there, which I didn't understand why that offset is not constant. If I hit this button here, download. Okay, you see there's a request, MQTT stopped. There's no more data being sent. And the first thing it says is it's received a request for 200 bytes of data. Got response 200 for 16 bytes of data. And that's going to go ahead and download the first file. I'll just wait a second until it starts. Okay, there it went. Started and made the file, and now it closed the socket. See, it deleted the socket and started a new socket for the second file, and it had response 200, meaning good, and here's the size of the next file. So this one takes a while. And you see the whole time the download is off, is still true because it's still downloading, and over here you see the LED is on, meaning the download is actually doing the download right now. So it's getting more data there. We'll just wait for it started, but you see there's 311 versions of this before I got this to work fully. So it's downloading. It's almost done now. You see the download button show off. You see MQTT is working again, and the light is off. Okay, so it's all set. It goes from, so there you see it's going from MQTT. It's not really halting that. That socket is still open, but it opens new sockets for HTTP. Finishes the download and then resumes again. And now we could hit the download button again, and light turns back on. Download is still true, and we can see over here that the download has started, and this will resume again. It's always resuming again. So that was not trivial to get to work. It has a couple of things that are different. One is that there's one callback that initializes both, and the MQTT socket stays open. The HTTP socket opens and closes for each file. The last thing that happens is that the client, which is Node-RED, has to understand that this is going to take a lot of time. So for a while it's not getting any requests. So there's a timeout set. The default one is a minute, but this one was set to 5 minutes, and that allows Node-RED wouldn't resume, otherwise it would time out. All right, there it is, the second one is going. The way Node-RED is coded to download and trigger again is that there's a message which is sent when you, okay, so hit the download button here with your trigger, it sends a message here, which is, when you hit this button over here, when you hit this button with, when you hit this button, it sends a message here called version data, and that button will it triggers the callback to start the download. That'll eventually send requested and also toggle the LED. When that's finished, there's another button here, another message, which is download finished, sent, and that will get modified here. This is a text data. This is a number 01, and that turns into a Boolean here, and that will switch the button there. And this up here is just for testing, so you can get it to switch by hitting this button